For decades, private equity firms and companies in the industry have focused on growing through the acquisition of other companies. This practice has become increasingly difficult, though, as the mergers and acquisitions (M&A) industry has expanded with diminishing probabilities of successfully acquiring attractive companies through randomly held traditional auctions.
For decades, private equity firms and companies from industry have worked with investment banks and business brokers to acquire lower middle market companies. As a result, that paradigm has been in existence so long, the industry has become more difficult for them to compete in.
So our clients, both private equity and strategic corporations, get inundated with investment bankers, opportunities for selling companies, and sometimes it may or may not fit their investment thesis, their acquisition strategy, could be a waste of time. Investment bankers sometimes try to find out what sticks with companies when they send over these opportunities. And as a former client, when my prior employer was a global consulting firm, I looked at acquisitions. I would be sent multiple opportunities that didn't necessarily fit my strategic plan and caused me a little bit of a distraction.
Our clients commit their resources to businesses that are achieving their return objectives. However, they don't want to commit resources to just evaluate opportunities that aren't good fits. The downside of auction processes is that they may receive 1,000 opportunities to evaluate in a given year. So they have to commit resources to assess the viability and fit with their investment thesis.
When we received a lot of opportunities from investment bankers, it could waste time, resources, energy to look at them. And more than that, it distracted teams going off either fads or trends or something in the market that was hot that didn't necessarily fit with the strategic plan. So that was the biggest downside.
Private equity mergers and acquisitions is a known hyper-competitive industry. However, more private equity firms continue to arise, and as they do, they are increasingly frustrated by having to expend resources competing against each other in investment bank-led auctions.
As private equity firms have proliferated and companies within industry become more acquisitive, the overall competitive atmosphere within the mergers and acquisitions industry has increased. And as a result of that, they are finding it more difficult to compete in investment bank-led auctions. Thus, what they're looking for is a solution in which they can acquire middle market companies and lower middle market companies that directly align with their sector interests, and we deliver that solution.
Our clients are thesis-driven clients. They focus on opportunities that drive their shareholder return, as opposed to fielding just opportunistic businesses that are looking to sell. Companies are inundated with inquiries from investment bankers and business brokers looking to market their business for sale. That seller would have to then vet each one of those opportunities to identify who's going to be the best at representing their company and identifying the right buyer for their seller's objectives.
Companies definitely have the option to sell through an investment banking process or an auction, and there's a perceived value that you might get multiple buyers in that case, a faster approach to a sale, higher valuations even. So there are positives that sellers could see, or they could go personalized route with maybe one or two buyers that are going to meet their end goals, and it probably is more efficient, saves time, and will hopefully reach their end goal better.
Andra Partners is a buy-side mergers and acquisitions origination firm that is disrupting the M&A industry with an innovative process and business model. They research, identify, and then discreetly engage the ownership of client-selected middle-market companies in private dialogues on behalf of their private equity and corporate clients.
Andra Partners delivers pure proprietary deal flow to our private equity and corporate clients. We do that through two primary deliverables, which are first of all thematic research, and then secondly, discrete private engagement with those target companies. Our firm uses a 6-step framework to build a list of proprietary acquisition opportunities for our clients that they would not otherwise see in investment bank-led auctions.
So I do feel Andra offers a unique service through our research team that can identify potential targets, companies that have not considered a transaction before. So it'll be the first time that they're hearing from someone, and our directors come with 20 years experience that know how to engage and interact with owners and founders. Examples where founders will say, well, no one's ever asked me the questions you're asking me. Usually it's always about what's your bottom line, and they get off the phone quickly. So I feel like we bring that personal touch.
I worked in technology for many years. After working in technology for many years, I entered the world of mergers and acquisitions and realized rather quickly that there wasn't a solution in place to enable middle market private equity firms and lower middle market private equity firms and companies from industry to acquire other companies other than through primarily investment bank-led auctions and business broker processes. As a result of that realization, I developed a framework and technology that supports it, that enables Andra Partners to deliver acquisition opportunities to its clients, both private equity clients and corporate clients, that are specifically aligned with their interests and enable them to see those opportunities on a private basis as opposed to an auction basis.
Our clients look to Andra Partners to drive proprietary deal flow. We are experts in that. Many of us come from merger and acquisition backgrounds. We also have broad and industry-based backgrounds. My background comes from a mix of technology and distribution.
Andra Partners has developed a methodology and process using technology that enables private equity firms and companies interested in certain types of industry sectors to specify precisely what companies they are interested in acquiring in those sectors. They can then pursue acquisitions of those companies proactively without waiting for a random auction to just possibly involve an acquisition opportunity in one of those sectors.
As the mergers and acquisitions industry evolves, additional firms are being created almost on a daily basis. As a result of that, they need increased specificity relative to the acquisition opportunities that they evaluate and that they compete for in the marketplace. Our firm is developing additional processes, adding personnel that are highly skilled and trained, and Andra Partners as a result delivers a solution that's going to become increasingly narrowly focused and specific to their particular acquisition interests.
To learn more, contact us today.